Hey, good morning, everybody. Don LaChance here. And it's March 2nd today. It's dreary here in Ottawa. It's cold again. When I say cold, I mean it's a little warmer than it has been. It's hovering right around the 1 degree mark. That's Celsius for all of my US and Fahrenheit measuring friends. Anyways, I just wanted to share something that's been on my heart. It might be dreary outside, but it certainly isn't in my heart and in my life. A while back, I'd created a group for single dads and for divorcees, because there's a ton of support out there for single moms and a lot of groups. And unfortunately, women share much differently than men do. And in the work that I've been doing in the last bit, I've been reaching out to a group I refer to as silent sufferers, and it's those of us who have incredible value to give, but we've been robbed of our worth. We've lost self. And in doing that, we isolate, and we get paralyzed. And the more we sink to those depths, the safer we feel, yet the more hopeless our situations appear to us at the same time. And it's always a difficult thing to try and climb out of, and virtually impossible to climb out of alone. So I'm rebirthing the group, if you wish, as a support mechanism and a vehicle and a place for the silent sufferers, single dads, and hurting men, divorcees, to really kind of plug into and begin to share some of the shameful elements, some of the shameful aspects in their lives that they don't know what to do about. They feel lost, they feel disconnected, and they don't realize that there are options available to them. And I'll tell you one thing for sure: when you step out and you begin to show up authentically and speak about the brokenness in your own life, it's amazing the people who begin to just kind of connect and who are attracted to it. And I think it's very important that we begin to build a group, because again, there's very little support out there for single dads and for men who have gone through incredibly difficult divorces. Women get to share about those things, and they do it openly, and they do it willingly, and they excel at it. Us, not so much. The world's conditioned us to be these strong pillars, and a lot of the bases of the pillars we've really attempted to be have eroded, and we're wobbly. And there's no need for that, really. There is hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I've created a group. I didn't put a link in here because it's a closed group, and I want people who are interested in taking part in this to send me a private message and ask for the link. I know it's going to take some courage on a lot of people's part to want to be just in the group, because seeking inclusion in this is going against the grain often. We've set our faces like flint against the world and just want to be determined that we're going to do it our way and that we're going to make it through this, and you don't have to do it alone. When I started reaching out to people and I started looking for some of the truths that I needed to tuck into my heart for those stormy days, it was amazing where some of that truth came from. Brene Brown, just like I owe so much to that incredible lady that has just really kind of opened my eyes to the strength that really lives in vulnerability. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And part of me wanting to get this group created was a post I did a couple of days ago on my timeline. I was pointing to a little grateful sign, and I wanted to post it in different groups, and I did that, and I got some incredible feedback from just my sphere of influence, like my connections, the people who read my stuff and who are encouraged by my posts and things like that, and the feedback was really good. It was cool. It was good for me because it's just a boost to my soul. It's a boost to my psyche. It was comforting to know that people are watching and they're touched by authenticity, I guess is the best way to say it. And so I really want to create a zone where people can be authentic. And sometimes our authenticity isn't pretty, it isn't nice, but it's often what needs to be shared with people. One, in order for us to break through, and two, we don't know what other people need to hear that will crack that veneer that will begin to set them free. And it's that authenticity, showing up in authenticity, that really creates the space for a lot of these people who suffer in silence to take off their masks and connect, sometimes for the first time ever. And so it's the kind of environment I want to help create. Another group that I'd posted it in was Kyle Cease's Evolving Out Loud group. If you don't know who Kyle Cease is, check him out. Same thing for Brene Brown. Check her out. And another incredible dynamo on the authenticity front has been Philip McKernan. These people just show up in the marketplace the way they are. They speak their truth. And you know what? The truth is enough. But we're so conditioned to hide and to want to put that perfect post out there. We want to be seen as having it all together, and I've given up on that. I don't want to be seen as having it all together because I don't. And I know that in creating a group of people who feel the same, men who are willing to step into that vulnerability, men who are willing to own the shameful elements that make us up, so that we can break free of them, because we've been conditioned not to talk about shameful things, and we dress a lot of that stuff up as fear. And it isn't fear, folks. If you're trying to deal with the fear aspect, you're digging in the wrong place. We want to create a comfortable place here, a non-judgmental place for people to peel back a deeper layer and look at the shame-based emotions that are driving that, so that we can work through them. And believe me, there is work involved, and I know that because 32 years of alcohol and drug addiction recovery, I know how difficult it is. 32 years. You'd think, wow, you've got it all together after 32 years. And I learn something new every day that equips me. And often what I'm finding in my search and in my willingness to just look at the world and live in it without pretending that I know everything, I'm equipped with things that often serve a small purpose in me, but they're nuggets that I get to give away to other people. And in a lot of cases, those nuggets have been just the right thing that people needed. And I'm no claim to fame here. That's not what it's about. It's simply adhering to some of the real principles of my AA program. And so, with all that being said, when Kyle Cease decided that it was an okay post for his EOL group, his Evolving Out Loud group, the comments and the encouragement that I received from that was phenomenal. And so I just decided that it's time to stand in my brokenness publicly and, one, ask for support from other men who are in similar situations, because I'm willing to provide that same kind of support. And I know together all of us are smarter than any one of us. And so, that being said, If there's an interest for you, or if you know anybody who is suffering in silence, and you know this because of the intimacy of your relationship, or if you've got a husband who's broken and hurting and feeling despair. I know we can't push people into these things, but he can always just raise the level of awareness. Just mention that you caught a clip online, you saw the group, you don't know if they'll be interested, but at least raise their awareness. At least let them know that there is something available for them to plug into if they so choose. So if there is an interest on your part, just send me a PM, a private message, and ask me for the link. I'll send it to you. And again, it's a closed group. People can find it, but nobody can see the posts that are in there. And together we can decide whether or not we want it to become a secret group, and so that there's no way people can get in and really kind of experience some of the vulnerability that does get exposed in there. Either way, I'm going to leave the decision in your court, March 2nd here, 2018. And I'm really believing that this is the beginning of a phenomenal journey to freedom for a lot of people. I know it's the intention for myself. So on that note, have a great day, my friends, unless you have other plans.